Okay. Okay, Mayor.
Thank you. Sorry about the delay. It appears that there might have been a misunderstanding, and I believe that that was explained and conveyed. We are going to table this one more time for another 2 weeks. We'll meet again in 2 weeks just to get the final approvals. Hopefully, we'll get the renderings that we asked for, and I think that was explained. Again, let's table this and we move on to the next one.
Next item on the old
And
business.
Mayor, I believe that the resolution of the board at the last meeting was to keep the record open for the submission of a visual depiction. And I believe that that is the resolution that we're now extending to the next board meeting, so that the applicant has the opportunity to submit additional visual depictions of the premises as they will be built. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if that is the motion, is there a motion to that effect?
Yes.
Seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Can I have a question before we leave? Can we have one more question, please? Please?
What's the question?
Okay. If I remember clearly, the attorney was asking the boards by the end of the last meeting, because we were reviewing 3 items: the planning, the architecture, and the facade. I remember the board was not approving any. Okay, you can go back to check the recording.
What's your
I
question?
do not believe the planning is approved.
What is the question?
The question is that now we got misled thinking about the plan is fixed, it's being approved. So we only talk about the architecture and the facade. I don't believe that's the case. So I want you to confirm the plan is not finally approved yet. If you go back to the recording, it's very clear. The attorney was asking you to approve all of them or some, or at least the planning, but the planning was not approved. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, we're tabling this until the next meeting. Next item, please.
Next item is architectural and facade review for a property located at 733-741 Middle Neck Road. The applicant on the meeting?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, Mayor. I have received some information on this. Just one moment. I'm going to put up backups that we have received from the applicant. This is a design for the facade that we have received from the applicant. This is from one angle. This would be the view from the Middle Neck Road. This would be from the North Road. Same on the North Road. And these are the comps from the other developments within the area. And this is a letter by the H2M that was sent to Mr. Grossman, chairman of the BZA, regarding the drainage plan that it was approved. And these are the only designs that I have, or the papers for this project.
So the only thing that's really on for tonight is architectural and
Facade.
facade. as far as the bulk, the numbers, the site plan, all of those have been done and approved by Board of Zoning.
That is correct.
It received all his variances there, yes.
We received our variances, and I believe we have a tentative site plan approval. I haven't seen the written approval yet, but the board did vote to approve the application at the last meeting.
and we do have a approval, we do have a letter from H2M that they meet all the criteria for the, I mean, obviously they checked, the BZA probably checked that already for the site plan
Correct.
and drainage. Right.
It's my understanding, Mayor, the only thing standing between the applicant and the building permit is architectural and facade review and receipt of the written determination of the ZBA on the site plan. Is that correct, Counselor?
Yes, that is correct, Mr. B.
Okay. You can leave the design, the rendering one more time, please, and then if the board has any questions.
Just a moment.
If you could actually go to the next rendering with the front of the building with the 733 on it. Yeah, that one. I think that's a more representative depiction of the project as we proceed forward.
Right, because I don't see the steps anymore. I remember you
Yeah.
you said that you're going to take out the steps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we took out the steps. On the North Road side, we actually had a circular driveway that kind of went up a little bit, and it created kind of a low overhang. We dropped that part out as well so that we could get delivery vehicles in there. Yeah, as you can see here, actually on the next slide on North Road, you'll see, yeah, there you go. You can see a UPS truck. We designed it so that delivery trucks could go into the driveway to turn around, drop off packages and leave. At the site plan application hearing, the neighbors expressed a number of concerns about vehicles parking on North Road and impeding the flow of traffic. And they did have a point, and that's why we decided to, redesign this driveway area to allow the vehicles to get right up to the door to be able to drop off their packages and leave. This building will have a full-time doorman, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So any deliveries would have to be left with the doorman, and the doorman would be able to deliver them to the residents of the building. This project has been through a number of different designs since we started this process almost a year and a half ago now, I believe. It's gotten a little bit bigger, but we've created some terrace areas, and we've reseeded actually brought in, if you look at the 4th floor on the North Road side, that would be the left of this picture. You can see we put the terrace in there so that we didn't have a sheer wall adjoining the residence to break it up a little bit. We agreed to a condition with the zoning board that those terrace areas would not be accessible to the residents. They would be for decorative purposes only. So this way we won't have people hanging out on the patios, disrupting the neighbors in the area. We have an architect on tonight with my client. I think he can go through some of the finer points of the application, but I mean, this project has come a very long way since its initial permutation, and we think this is a superior project to what was originally proposed, and we think it's going to definitely enhance the southeast corner of Middle Neck Road and North Road. So with that, I would turn it over to the architect for this project.
Hi, this is Oz. For the record, this is Oz Chetin. I represent the engineer's office tonight, Gadi Oshori, and I'm the architectural project manager on the project. As you would recall, we did go through in the last meeting. We did go through the materials and the finishes that will be used, and as the attorney just stated, these are the revisions that were requested last time, and how it is addressed, including a delivery truck, the steps, the heights, and everything. Just briefly, if I may remind, the project was proposing a mixture of stucco, limestone color stucco finish combined with the wood veneer rain screen option. And so that's still the same as it was proposed last time. Again, these are addressing last meetings.
When you say last time, meaning to our board, because I don't believe that the facade was ever presented to our board.
It is presented to the board, not these renderings, but the previous pictures with the neighboring buildings. It was reviewed, yes.
Right. So are you saying the lighter color area, there's stuccos?
Yeah, if we can go to the first page as the screen share. Yeah, these were presented in the last meeting. And again, stucco finish and a secondary accent wood veneer combination.
The wood veneer,
Mhm.
I know that, and just for public, they're not wood.
They're not, yeah, it's
Right. But
it's
the
compounded.
stucco, I mean, I don't know if the stucco, again, unless somebody has a different message to give, but I think the stuccos can usually get stained. I don't know what type of material, what kind of stucco that you're using. I know there are different types of stucco.
Mhm.
They can also get damaged from what I have seen. And you
Yeah.
have a lot of it on the first floor on North Road. Do you have any comments on that?
Sure. If we go to the first page again, if you see the system is called EFIS system on the where it explains the materials, the other page. Just the finished product is the stucco, but the EFIS system, EFIS is an insulated board, and over it it's stucco. So it's actually very doable when it's in a system rather than applying stucco over any insulation. So these are hardboard, hard insulation, hardboard board-like insulation and the stucco is on top of it. So the system makes it more durable than traditional applications that you would see in residential homes or some sort of foam-like semi insulation. So the system is actually a lot more durable than existing examples. For the streaking and cleanness, again, it will look like it will look stucco, and there's finer grades. So where we would be selecting a finer grade, so less granule, less sandy. So it looks like more like a stone rather than traditional stucco. So the element is more finer. In terms of stain and streaking, any It will stain as many as much as any building product would stain. This includes like stone surfaces, limestone, they stain. But it's more like a weathered effect rather than staining. The problems in buildings that you see a lot in larger surfaces when it's not broken into segments like this one. That's why the architecture is reflecting a bit of segmented panelization and breaking a continuous stucco or solid surface. So when it's too long or too high or too continuous, yes, they're more likely to weather and more likely to get dirty, especially around the window edges or where you have a change in the facade. So that's why to address that, it's actually the facade is broken in a way that you don't get long and large components of this material. Like I said, it will be more weathered effect rather than a dirty look. But it's of course, like it will, it won't, it would weather as much as any building.
The other question I had, I remember the very first time this was presented to our board, maybe about a year and a half ago. Obviously, it has changed significantly. The size has changed as well. I remember that we discussed, or I asked for some window treatment at that time. I think the board also agreed. I don't know if I see any kind of a window treatment. I just see the windows just on the wall. Am I missing something?
So currently that's being developed. If you look at this rendering, the treatment is more into the bay windows and where the balconies are. It will be more like a French balcony, and in the previous rendering we showed the inspiration image to that. What would it be? More ornamental railings to these balconies that we're currently working on. But for each window to get treatment, it's not part of the design, but once this is completed to be more ornamental, like I said, I think it will break up the facade in a way that it's not boxy. I think that's probably the concern in around the windows. But we can definitely address the headers. Yeah.
If you're looking at the window, it seems like the window is coming out, is just being cut out in the stucco, at least on this side, and the ones on the 4th floor. I know it's behind a glass railing, but you can definitely see that it's just a window. And even though it could be a very beautiful building, I think it gives it a cheaper look if you don't do a proper window dressing. And I think that's what the design again, I'm not an architect and I don't want to really overstep my boundaries, but as someone who's looking at a building who is on the corner, which is on a corner, I would believe that a window dressing would definitely pop this building a lot out more and make it a lot nicer, whereas making the windows cut out straight in the stucco.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a valid comment and definitely not, to be stepped out. I have to say the renderings is never do the right justice for these type of applications. The wall thickness currently we're developing more technical drawings on the wall build-up. And you know, with the insulation and the exterior framing and everything, the wall buildup is actually reaching out to 14 to 15 inch, while a window frame is about 5 to 6 inch. So depending on where we locate the window in that buildup, you would actually, it's usually more recessed than what is shown in computerized images. By the time it's more recessed, it's more residential. By the time it's more recessed, you end up with a about 6 inch sill or shadow line, and that
So you're
actually
saying
helps.
these windows, so you're
It's
saying
not
these windows,
flush. Yeah.
so you're saying these windows are actually set back in, and the stucco is
Yes, it's not.
It's 6 inches. The windows are 6 inches in.
Yes, it has room to do, and we're currently developing that to be the case. Yes, and it won't. It's not. It's. I agree. It's not good design when your glass is flush with the outside facade, and that's not the case.
Well, that's what it looks like. So that's why I asked.
Mhm.
I think if we're looking at this design and we're voting on the design. Okay. The other question I had, and that would be my last question, I leave that to the board and the public to ask questions. The height of the lights, I would say about, we would say about 10 feet, 9 feet.
Usually about 10 feet. Our first floor is, if I'm not mistaken, it's currently 15 because we changed the elevation. And it's about 10, yeah, a bit higher.
All right. Okay. Any of the member of the board have questions on the design?
No,
And the material?
I do not.
Were there samples of the materials available?
It's on the first page. The photos are on the first page of tonight's presentation on the left, as you would see. And on the right, it's applications where similar buildings use similar materials. I don't think the physical samples submitted yet.
There are no physical samples available in the bulletin.
Okay, yeah.
Mayor, can I open it if no other board members have?
Oh,
Any
I
comment?
was just asking, are there any physical samples in the village hall?
Oh, no, at Village Hall, no. I don't think we have. Steve, did you get any?
No, I did not.
Okay, we didn't receive it at in the main office either. Any physical samples?
So I think, just to quickly sum up Oz's testimony, I think what we tried to accomplish with the windows and with the cladding was to, break up the architecture so that it didn't have that flush appearance where it was just a straight wall of stucco with windows right up against the edge of the building. I think, some of the windows are recessed at different levels, and you can kind of see that on the plans, especially those within the cladding, the wood cladding area. You can see that some of those windows are set back a little bit further and others are a little bit closer. So I think it's that staggering effect that we were going for with this two different materials on the facade of the building. And I think, the wood cladding, definitely makes that corner pop. This doesn't look like, if the board, I don't know if the board recalls the original building. This was more or less a box that was very industrial looking. I think through the redesigns and through getting feedback from the board and representatives of the village, we certainly tried to soften that look with the wood cladding and with the way the windows are set at different perspectives within the wall of each building. I think the balcony is also on the North Road side and also on the 4th floor of the building, also break up the architecture and don't make it look, take away that appearance of just one sheer wall of space. So I think that's what we were going for.
Can you leave the picture up again, Brian? Or Abraham?
Yeah.
This is not it.
It's the next slide.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though I like the dark color better, but that's really me. This is fine. Again, I keep looking at this and I look at the windows and I've seen windows that are cut into stucco on houses that have a lot less windows. I can tell you it looks extremely cheap. I would like to see a building in this size to really have not just breaks in the material, but also detailed material that is used to beautify the windows, and as they call it, window dressings. It's just not inside, but the outside. I remember the first time we talked about maybe French balconies for some of them. I know that, again, or pillars or pillar likes or something on top or something to separate the window from the wall. I don't see that here. And I think that's really my main concern, at least at this time. I like the corner where it says 733. I think it looks nice. Maybe you don't need the same window dressing or some break between the window and the wood veneer. It doesn't seem like it's as necessary, even though I think it would make it definitely nicer if there is. But between the stucco and the window, I think from what I am seeing, I just don't appreciate the windows popping out. I just feel like they're there just to be there.
I don't want to sound like I disagree with what you're seeing. I think I'm just trying to explain what we tried to accomplish, and I think the architect has a good sense as to what you're looking for. So if some tweaking is necessary and we need to recess those windows a little bit further or break them up with some kind of treatment, as you said, I think we're certainly going to do that. And we want this building to be a success, and we want the village to be proud of it. So I think that's I think your comments are well taken.
Member of the board have no comments. Do you want to open it up to public, see what the public has to say?
I think Bart has something.
Just to add, I'm not really going to add to what the mayor said, rather than agree that the way it is appearing now, there's a lot of these windows, and it does have a commercial look to it. So I don't know if that was expressed in that particular way, but I would have to agree with what the mayor was saying. There's something about this rendering that makes the building look a little bit too, I guess, too commercial, too many of the same windows.
So what I understood from the mayor saying that kind of a molding around the stucco area around the windows will beautify to make it look prettier. So if it's something you can add on to it, it makes the whole thing look prettier. I think that's what
Right, and not the same
Nobody
thing on
make
every, not the same thing on every window, right? I mean, it's got to be.
No, a little different, yeah.
interesting.
Break it up a little bit.
I would, again, I don't think the board is here to give you suggestions what you should design. I think the architect and the engineer and the owner, really, they're the ones who should come up with ideas of how to do it, from looking at other buildings or other ideas that they have. It's fine, but I definitely would suggest a building with this magnitude has to be something that people look at and enjoy looking at, not say, oh, you know what, it has, this is missing, and the window looks like this, and the door is not the way it should be. And I would love to see a building that gives that wow factor, not just because of its size, but also because of its beauty. And I think it has a lot of potential, and I think that it could be done. And I do trust that the owner and the architect and the engineer and everyone who's investing in this building would like to see something that is a magnificent building. I would open it to public, see if the public wants to make any more comments. If it has anything to do, again, with the architect and design and facade, obviously everything else is not within the scope of this board at this time.
Okay, I see, Mark, you have your hand up. Just state your name, address for the record, please. And again, just to reiterate, just to matters, please keep your comments to matters of the facade and architectural review.
I got you. Mark Bordani, 10 North Road, direct neighbor to this project. Firstly, I think the input you guys gave on the windows, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to be walking by this apartment every day. If you can give it that wow factor, that less commercial look, it would mean a lot to me in my neighborhood. On that same issue, I noticed the driveway. I don't know if it's past this, but the driveway is indoors inside the building. That also gives it a more commercial look. Usually, like Oxford and most other buildings in Great Neck, almost every other building in Great Neck, the driveway is outdoors. And it gives it a much nicer, classier look. Usually when you put the apartment inside the building, it makes it feel like cheaper, as if you're not in Great Neck. It gives it it destroys the whole aesthetic, the whole classiness of the building. So I know you're gonna lose some rooms if you do that, but it's something that would really class up your whole apartment, and it would make the whole thing look neater and cleaner and nicer, frankly, and really more expensive.
Could you leave the picture up again, Brian?
Abraham.
I don't know who's doing it. Okay.
One of you.
If maybe the one from the other one, yeah, you see what I mean? It's like you have rooms on top of it, but like most buildings, they don't have that whole east wing. Like Oxford doesn't have it. It's outside. It gives some space between everybody, and it just makes everything look cleaner and nicer. Also,
but, one thing you have to realize, I don't know if that would become the architectural or the plan. The plan is already done and approved. So to remove some, again, it's up to them if they want to, but I think if they do that, they may have to go to BZA because they're making amendments to the design, or to the plan, I should say. I think, say again?
I just wanted to chime in quickly to say it. I respect Mark's opinion here, but I personally disagree with it. I think that this garage will have the natural soundproofing and shielding that might be appreciated by people on the block. So that's just my opinion. In any event, it is site plan, and we're not doing that tonight. So.
Fair enough. I mean, that kind of, I guess my also issue is that my whole neighborhood also has all of our driveways on the west end side even the people on the north side and the south side, we all have the driveways on the west end side. This will be the, I think, one or maybe two. Well, the other guy that is going to get knocked down anyway, but this will be the only building that has the driveway on the east end side. So it really kind of just ruins the flow of it.
And again, Mark, that's site plan.
I get it. Yeah, I know. I just had to I felt like I had to say that. The east end view doesn't have doesn't include the trees that you're leaving. So it's really hard to set it to scale. It's really hard to know to feel how big the building is going to be, because not this one, the east end picture. The trees are missing in that. The trees that you're going to leave, that's going to be like a natural greenery. Yeah, see, those are the arborvitaes you're planning on planting. Not those. The tree. No, the other one, please. The other. Yeah. See, that's the east end view. So those include the arborvitaes you're bringing, but it doesn't include the 7 or 8 trees that's in between myself and 8 North Road. So it's missing that, and don't want to be a stickler, but it does make it hard to, it doesn't give it the opportunity to set the scale of the whole project when a major aesthetic like that is missing. It should be there. It makes it feel like it's not real. Frankly, it's like it looks like I'm just looking at a fake drawing of something as opposed to something that's set in reality. Lastly, just to confirm, that balcony is not, because I wasn't sure during John's opening, I wasn't sure if it's talking about the north or east end, but the east end balconies that was discussed in the past 2 meetings. Those are not going to be accessible by the residents.
I believe that's what they mentioned, that they're not going to be accessible.
Just wanted to
just one other observation. I don't know if I see something on this. Are there lights on this stucco end right above the car? Yeah, right. Are those lightings? Yeah, I believe so. Right? Who's there?
Who's the architect?
Yeah, that's the accent lighting on the building facade, also currently under development, and is showing potential locations.
Oz, can you confirm that those lights only cast against the building? They don't cast out?
Yeah, as I mentioned, accent lighting, not directional or direct lighting to light up.
I only see it on that wall. I did not see it on Middle Neck Road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are street lights there, but not building lights.
Well, this is my, do you mind if, this is my neighbor, George? He doesn't have access to Zoom.
Just Mark, in 1 second. So Oz, can you confirm if you're planning on putting accent lighting on Middle Neck Road also?
Yeah, in order to match the facade, potentially it will go there as well. But again, these are very.
How about on the east side of the building?
I can't. That's not planned. No, only the 2 main facades.
Right. I don't think we need to put it on the east side because it's going to be exactly on the Nerber side. But I think as long as it goes on the 2 main roads, north and Middle Neck Road. And again, I don't know where we're going with this. I would like to hear more suggestions, because I don't want this to come back and then have another suggestion and more suggestions. I think so far the windows, the treatment, what you put around it, borders or anything you think, French balconies, the lighting on the building, the color of the lighting that you're putting in. Are you going to use the same color? Or are you going to use a different color? Do you want to put a darker fixtures on the light or on the light stucco, or do you want to put the same color? I mean, those are the things that you need to show. Again, I'm looking for that wow factor, and unfortunately, I do not see the wow factor. Anybody else would like to make a comment?
Mark, you had your
Yeah, I have a
neighbor.
question. What's
This is-
going on in the roof?
This is George. He's 12 North Road.
12 North Road. What are we looking at on the roof? Is that a glass fencing that is the entire perimeter of the building? And on some of the other renderings, it was showing plant material on the roof. I haven't heard anybody, there's one that you show that has plant material on the roof. And the glass there that shows plant material. What is going on the roof of this building?
This is not the rendering. This is the old rendering. This is the rendering.
So what's happening on the roof? Is that just something to disguise the air conditioning units and things like that? Are there going to be people on the roof? Is it going to be an entertaining area? What's happening on the roof of this building?
No, the what you see here is the glass railing. Again, sometimes the computer generated images doesn't do the justice. It's showing a bit taller than regular railing height. But it's matching the the modern feel of the building to be glass railing in the below terrace and above terrace. The terrace currently being programmed as partially accessible and partially mechanical. And again, the plans are being developed, but not for entertainment purposes. It's just like accessory outdoor space to the tenants. So there's no indoor program there, but only outdoor access, terrace access, partial, not full.
So you're saying that there's not going to be people on the roof and that this railing is see-through, so it's not there to block the view of air conditioning units or any other maintenance type equipment on the roof of this building. That's going to be, how is that going to be disguised? Because I'm assuming there's air conditioning on the top of this roof.
Yeah, there will be some mechanical equipment, and it will be covered similar solid surfaces, not really with glass. And currently, it's being planned to be on the more towards the back side and not necessarily on the main.
When you say backside,
We are the back side on North
You
Road.
mean on the south side of the building, George? This is Bart Sobel speaking. I think from North Road, you would not see any mechanical equipment on the top of this building,
No.
given the scale of what we're looking at here.
Yeah, from the street
Perhaps if
side.
you were across the street on Middle Neck Road, you might be able to see something if you look, but that's not going to be the predominant feature.
Yeah. So usually, those are located around the elevator bucket, right? So or the stair bucket. So it will be between those cladding is similar massing, and neither of them are on these two main facades, more towards in the back, meaning
So
away
can you
from
explain?
these
I don't
two.
understand what back means. Back means south, east, southeast.
The when I say back, I mean further away from these two facades you're seeing right now.
The back,
that's gonna
the
be
back
on
of the
the
building is the
southeast?
east.
Yeah.
Back of the building is the east, Mayor Brawl.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So because the entrance is on the north, so the back could also mean south. So
Right.
Yeah.
the question I have is that the bulkheads and everything else is going to be on the east side of the building. Am I correct? Or on the southeast of the building?
Yes, more
That's the
northeast actually. On the bulkhead is about the about the entrance on the North Road. But further, not on
I
this
believe,
side, further.
I don't want to disagree, but I think the plan is to keep the mechanical equipment more towards, obviously, more towards the east side of the building, but more in the middle of the footprint of the building, if you will. So that the residents can't see it, and it would, you know, lower the possibility of the spread of any noise from the mechanical equipment. We don't want the residents to see it, so, you know, it would certainly be, you know, east of the center of the building, but it won't be right up against the, you know, the east wall of the building.
Okay.
And we designed it that way so that we could keep the, you know, keep the mechanical equipment hidden from view.
The other question I have is the part of the roof being used for the residents. And if so, how much? I don't know if that was part of the resolution from BZA or that's something that you guys are seeking to get approval for the rooftop to be used. I personally don't have anything against necessarily. I just want to know if that's the case and how it's going to be used and what percentage of the rooftop is going to be used.
It would be less than 50% of the rooftop, and it would be located to the west side, closer to Middle Neck Road. Again, that, you know, if we allowed it to go all the way to the east, it would defeat the purpose of recessing the balconies and restricting access.
No, I
We
understand.
don't
No, I
want-
agree with you. True. I mean, I just
So-
wanted to make sure that. Okay.
Yeah, no, it'll be less than 50%, but it will only be, it would be limited to residents of the building only, and their guests, but we wouldn't allow parties or anything like that. It would just be, you know, small gatherings on nice days. I mean, you're really talking, you know, maybe 3-4 months a year, you could get good use out of a space like this. Other times it's either too hot or too cold.
Okay. Any other questions?
Is there any way you cannot do that? I mean, that's a complete invasion of our privacy.
No, it's not going to
They
be on
won't-
your side. It's going to be on Middle Neck Road.
I know, but I'm not happy with that. He's not happy with that.
Not part of this review, though.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, it's not part of our review.
Oh, it's not part of this review. It wasn't discussed at any other. It wasn't discussed at another meeting. This is the first I'm hearing of this. I guarantee that this is the first I'm hearing. It was pull up a transcript. There was no ever that was mentioned.
Yeah, the rooftop was not approved at any other board. So the BZA did not approve any rooftop usage. Rooftop usage would be under,
I don't believe we need approval from the BZA for the usage of the rooftop. I believe it's permitted as of right in the apartment E district.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, I thought it was permitted as of right.
Again, I don't think any of those things are the scope of the meeting tonight. I was just wondering if that, you know, it's going to be used. Again, I personally don't think that it's going to invade anybody's privacy if it's on the east side. I'm sorry, on the west side, which is on the Middle Neck Road side. But again, that is, as Bart said, and I mentioned in the beginning, it's not in the scope of discussion. It was just out of curiosity. As far as the design, does anyone have any comments to make?
If anybody else has any comments, please unmute, state your name and address for the record, please. Anybody? I don't see anybody else, Mayor.
Okay. I would like to get another advice of counsel on this, please.
Very good.